Good morning. We are going to start some acceptable reading. It is We Are Reborn When We Take the Road to Recovery, written by Sober the Juggalo, first edition. Yeah, good morning. Oh. Dedicated to all the juggalos and people that help make this happen. So all of you. Introduction. This book is for anyone who needs help. What's going on? Everyone. If you are about to read this book, then you must be searching for some answers. I want you to know that this book is purely just to help people. If something doesn't work for you, contact me at soberthejuggalo@juggalosandrecovery.com, and I will find a way to help you. This book is an option to help people in need. I have seen these options help many, including myself. Now with that, you are heading in the right direction. Continue working on yourself, and you will get there. You will get to where you want to be. Remember that I love you, and yet you are worth more to me than you know. So sober the juggalo. Come on, Drizzle. Good girl. I love you. Let's say hi to everybody. I'm gonna say whoop whoop. Whoop whoop. Okay. First chapter, rock bottom. You may ask yourself, what is rock bottom? Well, rock bottom is when you hit a part of your life when you become desperate. You don't know what you're doing, you don't know where to go, and you don't know how to move on, and you need help. Rock bottom is something people in recovery hit when their addiction gets too much. Their addiction takes over their life, and the rock bottom is this place of realization that, wow, I don't want to be this person anymore. I want to change, and I need help. I know there is no way to prevent a rock bottom other than being self-aware during your life and fixing the issues that come up daily, learning and making daily progress to become the person you love to look at in the mirror. For addicts, there's no way you could prevent a rock bottom unless you are not an addict. Any addict I know of, and this is my personal experience, will hit rock bottom, and sometimes it will hit multiple rock bottoms. A rock bottom is when you get to the point in your life and you're at a fork in the road and you decide whether you want to change or if you want to keep going down this dark path of carnage that your addiction has caused. In Juggalos in Recovery, this is what we call the Carnival of Carnage. You either pick the Carnival of Carnage and you let your addiction cause all the chaos in your life, or you pick the path to learn about yourself, learn about your past, make your weaknesses into strengths, and strive to become a person that you always wanted to be. When you hit rock bottom, it will be the place where you become vulnerable, terrified, and incredibly desperate for change. And it's up to you to decide whether you want to go, if you wish to go down that dark path or the bright path. If you're reading this right now, are you at a rock bottom and you need help and want help and you know that you need to change or you're not going to make it out alive, then you need to look out for a program. It would help if you jumped into somewhere. Start looking at self-help books. Start looking at addiction recovery program. Whatever your case is, you need to grow emotionally, become more mentally mature, or need better decision-making skills. You can learn a lot of this stuff through recovery programs. When you hit rock bottom, you have to find a support system that will be there for you. For me, I went to AA because my father pointed me in that direction. My smaller support system turned me into a bigger support system that had helped keep me sober so far. To figure out what programs are right for you, you have many choices. If you are an alcoholic, you have AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. If you are a drug user, Narcotics Anonymous. If you have cocaine, you have Cocaine's Anonymous, Sex Addicts Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous. You have all kinds of programs out there. There are also religious programs that I know of called Celebrate Recovery. There's another program based on science called Smart Recovery. Find something, at least temporary, and jump into it. And as you're learning through your temporary program, you'll be able to find what works for you. Many programs are faith-based. Many programs are, from what I've seen, faith or science paralleled. Juggalos in Recovery is an open-ended program. You get to choose what you want. You can make a mixture of both if that's what works for you. Think of Juggalos in Recovery as a choose-your-own ending book. You get to go through and make decisions based on what you currently know and then read the end. The best part about these books is that you get to reread them and get a different story almost every time. That is the key to growth. If you choose a different path every time, you will soon find a way to fit who you are. I use the recovery program AA because that's what I started with, and it's familiar to me and comfortable to me. But I also do other research, and I study other programs to improve my emotional intelligence, because that's one of the things that caused my addiction, the lack thereof. I am currently building on my emotional intelligence. Your program is yours. Not everybody is going to have the same plan. Not everybody is going to have the same recovery rituals. Not everyone is going to have the same habits. Not everyone is going to have the same addiction. Programs are just big support groups that are there for you when you need guidance the most. In my personal opinion, you should always have a program because it will hold you accountable. It will give you something or someone to guide you in the right direction. It will provide you with stability. It will show you how to love yourself before you even understand it. She's so goofy. These programs also give you your tools to use during life experiences. One of the tools that we use quite frequently, and I've tweaked it depending on whatever I'm dealing with, that day is called the Serenity Prayer. The message behind the Serenity Prayer is learning how to understand that you have control over and what you don't have control over, and then acting on that knowledge. If you know what to do, not have control over the situation, the only thing you have control over is your attitude, thoughts, and actions towards that situation. And then there's something you can do about it. So the Serenity Prayer goes, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And sometimes I say today, after that. If there's something you can do about that situation that will make the situation have a better outcome, then both of these things will give you a form of peace, so you don't have to stress over it. During these programs, you will learn tools to use. Everybody learns these tools at different pace, and what works for you and what you need in life to achieve greatness. You need to remember that you are right where you need to be, and you only understand what you need to understand. If you get to a point where you don't know what tools you need to use for a situation, that is when you ask for help. It is not a bad thing to ask for help. It shows that you are a healthy person by being vulnerable and showing that you are willing to learn something new. When I first got sober, and even still to this day, I ask about how to deal with emotions and how to deal with situations because I have never experienced them before. Sometimes I just come across an issue that I don't know how to deal with, and I need help. So if you get stuck, reach out a hand and someone will help you. Hi, good girl. When you walk into a recovery program, there are 3 crucial things you need to have right off the bat. It would be best if you were willing to accept that there will be changes in your life and mind, and are ready to understand that the people you're dealing with have been in a similar situation to help you. You need to have an open-minded approach to a recovery program. You cannot hold grudges, expectations, or resentments. You need to walk into this with fresh, open mind and be willing to absorb all the information that this group or program offers you. This includes outside influences such as reading self-help books and life coaches. I've done all kinds of things. The third thing is being deeply honest with yourself. There is no covering things up. There are no walls to hold you back. The only person to hold you back from this point forward is you. If that scares you, that's okay. Use that fear to motivate you. Do not let yourself get into the position of unhealthy fear because that will cripple you. Use that fear of what you can come. Use that fear of what can come and use that to motivate you and get excited about what can come. Because at this point, your life can only get better. Anyone in a program or not in a program can give you tools to become better and give you tools to deal with situations that life throws at you. Anyone can give you these tools. So you always have to be ready to understand. It sounds hard, but it honestly is not. If you get yourself to a point in this life, a point mentally where you are so desperate that you need help, then it should be easy for you to be willing to accept any knowledge on how to become a better version of yourself. There is no order. There is no timeline when you need to learn these tools or when you need to use them. It's your life. You will learn these tools when your life and you need them the most. Each experience you have, each relationship you start building, and each situation you have can teach you something about yourself and life. It is time to act like a sponge and absorb everything that you possibly can. Building a support system is scary during early recovery because you have to be vulnerable by asking for help. The only way you can do that is to show that you're willing to listen and trust in the person who's giving you their personal opinion and personal advice and giving you another tool to put in your toolbox. It has to do with trust. Many of us addicts have trust issues. There are so many different reasons why we have trust issues. But if you want to survive your addiction and want to recover and become a happy, grateful person, then I believe you need to find a sponsor or a mentor to hold you accountable. A sponsor is someone you see that has what you want, and you take that opportunity to learn from them. And when I say you want what they have, I mean how they act, how they deal with situations, or whatever. You can have as many sponsors as you'd like. You can have as many people in your support system as you want, but you need to have at least one person to hold you accountable for your actions. Someone who's going to be there when you hit a spot that you don't know where to go next. Anyone can be in your support system as long as they're there to help you. If they positively impact your life, they can be a part of your support system. As humans, we are not addicts, but humans need a support system because we cannot get through life alone and be happy. Some people live alone and can live a life independently, but from my personal experience, the people who have the support systems and the people they can count on and other humans to talk to and do things with are the happiest of them all. Another thing to be aware of, and not to take the blame for, is your personal growth. There may be people you grow out of that you surpass, or they are just not helping you anymore. It is up to you to determine whether you benefit from them being in your support system and dealing with that accordingly. You can have people who you push to an outer circle instead of just cutting them off. You don't always have to cut people off because you grew out of them or grew past them. Everybody has their problems. You don't know everybody's story. Not everybody knows yours. So you learn to deal with it accordingly. The next thing in recovery should be trying to figure out what caused your addiction. Figuring out what caused your addiction may sound hard. Don't let fear overwhelm you. It's only self-reflection of your life and figuring out why you did drugs or alcohol or overate or whatever your addiction was. For me, I drank because I wanted to escape. I tried to escape how life made me feel. I felt powerless, ignorant, and worthless. I felt overwhelmed with all these emotions that I didn't know how to deal with, and I didn't know how to deal with them appropriately. So I used drinking not to have to deal with any of that. When I was drunk, I was able to not feel anything, which drew me to alcohol. So I had to do some soul searching and some self-reflection and figure out, okay, this is why I drank. Now, when did this initial addiction start? Did anything flip a switch? Or was I an instant addict? For me, the first time I got drunk, I blacked out. I was an addict right on the spot. Some people aren't like that, and that's okay. That's who you are. But this is where brutal, open honesty comes into play. What type of addict are you? Were you ever able to control your addiction? And if so, what changed? Because at some point in your life, you could have been able to control it, and then it got out of hand. I had that in my life. I was able to control my drinking for a little while, and then it got out of hand again. So when did your addiction start? What kind of addict were you? Every day where I did 110% on everything, I overdo everything. I get so focused on something that I forget about what's going on in life. And then when I go back to everyday life, all I could think about is the thing that I was focused on before. That is an addictive personality. I do this to this day. Even though my drug of choice was alcohol, I am an addict. You have to ask yourself, were you running away from an overwhelming situation or emotion? Did something in your life trigger you to want to run away? Were you running away from people's judgments, your decisions? Did you feel overwhelmed? And whatever the case may be, you have to figure that out. Then you also have to figure out if you had self-control in the rest of the areas of your life. And this goes back to what I was talking about before. Are you an addict all the time? And sometimes you have healthy addictions and unhealthy addictions? Or did this one situation cause you to be an addict, and now you're willing to face the situation head on and get through it, and that's all you have to worry about now? Some people can get rid of their addiction. When you first start recovering from your addiction, you will deal with a flood of emotions coming in, and it can feel too overwhelming, and you may not understand how to handle all of these emotions. What you need to do when you feel this way is to reach out for help. You need to ask for help. You can do other things if you cannot get a hold of anybody, such as write out your feelings. Do not judge what you're writing down. You don't have to tell anybody what you're writing down. Take a pen and paper, a notebook, scrap paper, an envelope, whatever you can find, and start blurting all of your emotions and everything that makes you feel the way that you do now, and let it out. What that will do is it'll help you release all of that emotion that you've been pushed down for so long. And it will allow you to get all of it out in a very healthy way. This tool will help you learn how to deal with your emotions in a healthier, better way. It's not always easy dealing with emotions. Often you have to feel these emotions and allow yourself to handle them, allow yourself to process them, but keep moving forward. If something's bugging you, write it down. Your addiction causes the flood of emotion coming in. You put a dam in your brain to stop you from confronting all of these emotions, and now you've opened up that dam, and all those emotions you've been building up are coming out. You need to talk to someone about them. Be honest with yourself. Write some stuff down in a journal for 10, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, however long you need to journal for. It will help you get through that part of your recovery. And it is also good to continue that and make that a habit to have when you feel any way when it comes to life, situations, or emotions. It allows you to deal with your feelings in an extremely healthy manner. During recovery, you're going to go through many changes. You deal with many new things that you haven't dealt with in a long time, or you haven't dealt with at all in your life. This transitions vitality in your recovery journey is critical. You will learn how to start building yourself up and learn to accept who you are and start learning to love yourself. When it comes to starting a recovery program, you need to put all of the effort you used into getting that next fix for your addiction and put that into getting clean, sober, and healthy. So remember, during this time you are having a hard time. It's okay. It's okay to be overwhelmed, and it is where you learn how to process the trauma and grow from it into a better person. It is now time for you to deal with all of this. You have got through the worst part of your life. You are currently on the way up. Do not sit on your pity pot. Do not throw yourself a pity party. And do not get down on yourself. You can do whatever you need to do to get sober. It is a lifelong process, and there is no way around it. The best part about this is you only have to deal with this moment by moment. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about what you're dealing with. What's right in front of you. My sponsor once told me, if you are reaching for tomorrow and you're holding on to yesterday, then you're pissing on today. So remember, don't piss on today. Appreciate and be grateful for what you have. And that concludes the chapter of Rock Bottom. Whoop whoop.